There are many advantages to using virtual machines when we're learning and studying and teaching and developing anything to do with computers, where we want to have an environment that's portable and an environment that's consistent. And one of the things we can do with virtualization is create a sandbox. So we can create a pre-configured system, has all of the applications, all of the settings, everything we want as a virtual machine. And then we can take the hard drive from that virtual machine, make copies of it, distribute it to a number of students or developers, and then they can build their own virtual machine, but instead of having to reinstall all the hardware and software, they can just take the copy of the disk that we gave them, and they can use that in order to create the sandbox. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do this. First, you need to configure a machine exactly the way you want. Then you go into your file system, find the file that's the hard drive, give that to all of the students. So distribute it out to all of the students, and then that's the file they're going to use in order to create the virtual machine that you want them to run. It is important to note that when you do create this virtual machine, if you're installing licensed software, you do need to have licenses that will support the creation of multiple virtual machines. So every single virtual machine using that software will have to be licensed. If you're in an educational environment, then you can often get a trial license or an educational license. Or if you're in a corporate environment, you may have a site license. But be aware that creating these sandboxes does not break any license limitations. It just allows you to create a consistent environment throughout your infrastructure, and then you'll still have to license each virtual machine as appropriate. I use this a lot when I'm teaching things like Linux, which of course has an open license, so I'm not constrained by having to reactivate licenses, but it's a great way to make sure that every single student has the exact same machine in front of them, so that when I demonstrate something, they're working in the exact same environment. It also can save a lot of time, because maybe I want to teach them how to use a program, but I don't want to have to teach them how to configure a computer system. Let me demo the process for you. When you create a virtual machine, you'll create a hard drive, a virtual hard drive, as well as a number of configuration files to support that hard drive. So here you can see I've got a directory of reporting virtual machine. This is a sandbox environment for reporting services. And you can see that all these files are here. The large one that ends with VMDK, virtual machine disk file, that's the hard drive, and that's the one that I'm interested in. Now, just as an aside, sometimes if you're using VMware, if you ever see any files in here that end with the extension LCK, that's a lock file. And a lot of times if you're having problems starting a virtual machine, or if there's any difficulties with the virtual machine being recognized, it could be that in this directory, there are some of those .lck files. Those sometimes will show up if the machine has not been shut down properly. You can safely delete any .lck files on a non-running Windows or a non-running VM machine, and then you'll be able to boot it. So I'm going to take this file here, which is the VMDK file. I'm going to copy this file. So I'll go ahead and copy it, and that's a big file. So then I'm going to go to a directory, and you need to know exactly where you're putting this file. This is the file that you would distribute to all of the developers or students that you want to run this sandbox. And it's very important that they take their copy and put it into a directory where they know where it is. It also means that you're going to have to make sure that they have enough space for this file. It's a large file, it's 44 gigs in size. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into VMware. So let's go into VMware, and I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Now, I'm not showing you how to create a virtual machine, the initial virtual machine. I do have some other videos here on the channel. We've already created a virtual machine. We're just going to grab that VMDK file. We're going to copy it to a location that we're familiar with. Then I am going to have every student go through, and they're going to create a new virtual machine. Now, when they create the new virtual machine, we're going to do a custom install. We'll say next to this will be Workstation 17X. I'm not going to go through every single option and explain it. I'm just going to show you how to get the sandbox up and running. So here, we're not going to install anything. We're not going to use an installer disk. We're not going to use an ISO. We're simply going to say that we'll install the operating system later. So I'll go next to this. It's going to be Microsoft Windows. In this case, I know it's Windows Server 2016 because this is a bit of an older sandbox. I use this for things like SQL Server integration services, SQL Server analysis services, really on-prem solutions that I might be maintaining as opposed to developing new. So I'm going to choose Windows Server 2016. That's the version that I'm using in my sandbox. And then I'm going to give it a name. So I'll just call this Data Sandbox. I could call it the old Data Sandbox. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to browse, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to browse. In my case, I have a folder here called the sync folder, and I'm going to go down. I've created a folder called VM Sandbox. So I'm going to go into the VM Sandbox. This is not where I'm storing the hard drive because I'm not creating a hard drive. This is where I'm going to store the configuration file. So I'll go ahead and choose that, and I'll say next. Then I'm going to just accept some of these defaults here. I'm not too worried about this. Again, if you want to learn how to create a VM with all the details, check out some of my other videos. I'm probably going to push this up to be a little bit more RAM, maybe 8 gigs of RAM or so. And then I'm going to go in, and this is the important thing. So I'm going to choose the default networking. It's going to ask me what I want to do about the hard drive. So I'm just accepting all the defaults here, and this is the big one here. I can create a new virtual disk, but I don't want to do that because I want to use the one that I just copied and distributed. I could use an existing virtual disk. That's the choice I want to do. So I want to choose an existing virtual disk. So I'm going to choose that, and it's going to say, well, where is this virtual disk? Well, I'll say I know exactly where it is. So I'll browse for it. Once again, I'll go into my VM Sandbox, which is the directory it's in. It's in a virtual disk here. There we have that VMDK file. I'll now browse for that, and I'm now attaching that to the configuration, the new configuration file with the copy of the Sandbox disk. In this case here, it says, do you want to convert it to a newer format? I could do either one. In my case here, the format here is really around the version of VMware Workstation that I have. So in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and I'll convert it because I'm okay with converting it. I'm only going to be using VM Workstation 17. If I needed to move it between different versions, that's maybe a little more advanced. But if you needed to move it between different versions, then you could choose not to convert it. So I'm going to leave it here. It gives me a summary of what I've done. And notice now I've created this virtual machine. I've created the config file. I've attached the existing hard drive. Now when I power on this virtual machine, I don't have to configure anything. Everything's already installed. So in this case here, I'm going to go here and say, do you want to try connecting this device every time? Yes, I do. What's happened there is don't worry about that message. It's simply saying that there was a ISO image that was attached previously and it couldn't find it. So I'll just accept that. But notice I'm not installing anything. Hands-free, and it's booting up Windows. And when it boots up this Windows environment, it's going to boot up all of everything's configured based upon the virtual hard drive. So I've installed reporting services on here. I've installed SQL Server on here. I've installed some management tools on here. They are all there. The student, the developer, whoever I'm distributing this to, does not have to worry about it. It's a pre-configured sandbox environment. Then when it boots up, they simply log in and they can begin learning the program. They don't have to configure things. They may have to enter a license or so, but generally speaking, they have a nice pre-configured environment already and ready to run for them. So that's how we can take a virtual machine that we've created, copy the virtual hard drive, distribute it out to whoever needs a copy of the exact same configured machine, create a nice consistent environment, and everybody will have a sandbox that's exactly the same. If something goes wrong, somebody blows up their machine, installs it, crashes it, you could just give them that hard drive again and they can rebuild it and get back to the sandbox the way that it was initially configured. Hope you found this useful. If so, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.